Good evening and thanks so much for joining us. Impaired driving charges are on the rise here in the border city. RCMP say the jump comes after a decline last year. According to the RCMP, 160 impaired driving charges have been handed out so far in 2012, with 51 on-the-spot license suspensions. And with the Christmas season approaching, RCMP will be out in full force for the third annual Operation Christmas Driver campaign. The 7-week campaign starts up today. RCMP are warning the public to be ready for an increased presence.
It's a way to focus on the impaired drivers, get them off the road, and also throwing in the media campaign to say, listen, we are going to be out there. And because you know we will be out there, please take that cab ride home. Get a sober driver. Chance of you getting caught is very high.
RCMP are asking for the public's cooperation during this busy time. If you suspect someone's driving impaired, you're encouraged to call 911. A staffing shortage is decreasing service at the El Gervais Memorial Health Center in Good Soil and the Loon Lake Health Center. Laboratory and X-ray services will only take place on the dates on your screen. Services for blood collection and ECG procedures will only be available between 9 and noon and 1 and 3 p.m. If you need services at a different time or date, they are available Monday to Friday at Meadow Lake and Lloydminster Hospitals and the St. Walburg Health Complex. Alberta Venture recently recognized 25 provincial companies leading the way in innovation. Among the leaders is Iron Will Innovations, based right here in the border city. The product started out as an alternative to a keyboard. The Peregrine allows people to interact with electronics simply by touching their fingers together. But in the world of innovation, the possibilities are endless. Kelsey Bloxham finds out what's next for the Peregrine.
Brent Byer has maintained his humble beginnings, growing up on a nearby farm and starting off in mobile technology, then taking the computer system technology course at Lakeland College and starting Iron Will Innovations.
It's been good for our needs up to this point. Edmonton, we do a lot of our engineering, our manufacturing right in Edmonton. The time may come where the company needs to be relocated, but for now I just really enjoyed being here. It's been good. It's my home, and I guess this is where things started.
The idea for the glove as an alternative to typing came to the young entrepreneur one night while he was laying in bed.
So each finger has up to 5 unique places.
But what he didn't expect all those years ago was the endless possibilities for the glove.
I think what really changed for me from start to today was the different applications that this is used for. We've got people DJing music with it, doing graphics editing. We've got a lot of video game users, military interest, and I'm hearing more and more people all the time.
Byer will soon be heading over to the West Coast to collaborate with a company that's working with wearable technology.
There's a company in Vancouver called Recon Instruments, and they make this heads-up display, so when you're snowboarding, skiing, you can see your speed, your altitude, all this different stuff. Well, I'm going out to see them again next week. We have a working version of our glove that controls their display for them.
But what he's most excited about is the next generation for the Peregrine, working with motion and gesture sensing.
Well, what's going to be really interesting with this is once we have 2 gloves, a person could just pinch and rotate different ways. They could rotate different axes. Because right now I'm just using a single glove, but with 2 you could stretch, zoom, drag.
Work to fine-tune that side of the technology is currently underway. Kelsey Bloxham, Newcap News.
Hundreds of people gathered yesterday paying their respects to our fallen heroes. Thousands of Canadian soldiers paid the ultimate sacrifice so we can have the freedom that we have today. The ceremony was not only a show of support for veterans and their family members, but it was also to remember those who helped shape our great country. Elise Cox has the story.
More than 500 people packed together to pay their respects for those who made the ultimate sacrifice to make Canada what it is today. The Legion hosts this event to ensure that fallen soldiers stay at the foreground of our thoughts on this patriotic day.
I hope they walk away with a sincere respect and knowledge of the sacrifices made to give them the freedoms they enjoy today.
A moment of silence was shared with veterans and members of the Wainwright military, a reminder of the courage and servitude among our community.
It gives me a sharp reminder each year of how much I owe to those people especially, and to all Canadian service personnel.
As heroes were remembered during the celebration, one of the key mentions was the younger generation, urging them to not become removed from the war and continue honoring those who fought for them.
The youth have to take this forward from this point on, and we have to instill in the youth that they must respect those members who serve our country to protect our freedoms.
The 186 Lloydminster Air Cadets helped out at the event and understand their role in the future of Remembrance Day.
It definitely will be something that I continue to celebrate. It's, for me, it plays a big part in who we are as Canadians.
And youth around our city are showing their appreciation for our soldiers as well. The recent theft of numerous poppy boxes compelled a young local boy to make a generous donation.
A schoolboy came in yesterday to the Royal Canadian Legion, had heard about the thefts of the poppy boxes, wanted to honor the veterans personally, took $100 out of his own personal bank account and donated it to the Poppy Fund.
So the impact of Remembrance Day can be seen around our city through many generations, but the message of thanks is still the same.
I'd like to thank all them fallen soldiers that risked their lives to free our country, give us the opportunities that we do now, and just to say thanks for making our country what it is.
We owe them a great debt, one that can never be repaid, and I urge all Canadians to ensure that they remember those sacrifices, not only today, but throughout the remainder of the year.
Elise Cox, Newcap News.